So Anthropic recently just delivered this Claude design service, and I want to try to play around with it and see how well it does with designing out for various prototypes, and maybe I can even take my existing Agentic Jumpstart course, which, by the way, if you want to learn more about agentic coding, go check out agenticjumpstart.com. I have over 13 hours of content teaching you Claude Code, Cursor, and how to use agentic coding to build out full stack applications. Now for Claude design, basically what you can do is create a new project. I'll just call it a test project, and we're going to try doing a wireframe first. And then we'll come back and do the high fidelity, and hopefully that'll blow us away. So let's do a wireframe, and we can just go ahead and click create. And the way it looks like this works is on the left, you can describe what you want built out, and on the right, your creation will show up, okay? So one thing we could try doing is building out a course platform design, which I spent a lot of time just prompting Claude Code and Opus along the way to get this to work. But now that we have Claude Design, let's see if we can reach something similar in quality just by a few prompts. I want to create a course platform dashboard. So on the left, it has all of the videos and segments, and those are grouped by categories. On the right, we have the video player, the ability for someone to click next in previous to kind of navigate through those, and also add in some content underneath the video player so I can upload as an admin additional content, translations, attachments, stuff like that, or assignments. So starting with this really basic prompt, you could add in screenshots and attach a code base if you want to, but I want to see how well it does with just generating me a wireframe for this type of application. All right, so now it looks like it asks you some questions. So how many wireframe variations? I guess we could do 3 just to see how it does. So this is pretty cool. It's going to ask us some clarifying questions, which I mean is very similar to Claude Code when you're running it on the terminal. Quick questions about the course dashboard. Whose views are we designing? Okay, so that's something we need to think about. We are doing the learner view for right now. We don't care about the admin or anything else. How many designs do we want? We'll do 3. What sidebar behaviors should we explore? I'm going to say collapsible. This seems pretty good. Video player sizing, if we can do fixed, which is kind of like what my course platform does. It's just a fixed size. But I'd be curious to try this resizable thing. That seems pretty cool. And what goes under the video? We could say lessons, assignments, transcripts, basically everything. Comments I have, translations. I'll do resources and links. Okay. How to organize the under video content. We'll do tabs. What I've seen with AI is typically the first suggestion is like it's recommended, but you have a lot of different options too. Previous and next navigation placement. I don't really know. You should decide for me. You are this expert at this. How should the admin upload controls appear? Decide for me. Extra UI element to consider. Do we want a top navigation header bar? Maybe. Of course, progress bar sounds cool. Breadcrumbs, sure, why not? I'm gonna let this just go wild and generate a ton of stuff. So wireframe fidelity, very rough sketches, hand-drawn feel. I'll do the clean boxes, and then any tweaks or variations, make it orange, okay? I want it to be like the Claude Code design app. All right, so kicking this off, it basically took all our answers, it put them over here in context, and then it gave a updated to-do list, which I'm guessing I'll go through and check these as it's finishing. But we'll just go ahead and let this run unless anything interesting pops up I want to talk about. Now, while this is running, let's play around with the import button down here. So if you click import, you can upload a Figma file, you can connect it to GitHub, you can grab a web element, you can link a code folder, skills and design systems, and reference another project. So if you already have a design system at your current company, I think this one might be very important to use. Also on the left, there is an option where you can switch your model. Right now it's using Claude Opus 4.7, but if you wanted to switch to these other models, you can. I'm not sure why you'd really want to. We'll keep it at 4.7 as well. All right, it looks like it's done, and this wireframe actually looks pretty good. I mean, this is a pretty good wireframe. I will say you can go down here and you can tweak it if you want to change with different colors. They have a density, but it doesn't seem like it even does anything. So that's anticlimactic over there. So over here, you can't actually interact with it, but let's just check out the design. So this is a very nice looking design. You have the description, transcript, attachments, assignments, resources, and discussion, previous and next. You have the title of the video. You have some tags. Overall, I mean, this is a really good design. So if you want to start with this and hit the ground running with it, I think this is a great wireframe that you can go. I mean, this is what my course looks like. And looking at theirs seems a little bit more clean. I don't know. They both have like kind of the similar content. I have a search bar. My progress bar is on the left versus theirs like is on the right, and their breadcrumbs is a full header. So they went, I think, more with like the Udemy approach versus mine was my own custom type of thing with more rounded edges. All right, so that was design number 1. But what we could do is move over to design number 2. Now it does have some subtle changes. Like I think it has a fixed navigation bar at the bottom, so you can easily switch between previous and next videos down here. And the navigation bar is on the right. So I think that's like the main difference between them. I don't see anything else. But again, this looks pretty good too. The fourth one gives you some buttons on the left and the right of the video so you can kind of quickly navigate to the next video, which I think is the main change. Okay, let's keep on scrolling. It looks like it generated a ton of designs. We have like 5 of them. What is the main change on this one? I guess the note section and the buttons. The main thing is changing on each of these is the buttons for navigation, I think. Okay, this one's different a little bit by these buttons and the notes. I don't think the other designs showed a notes section on anything. And if it did, maybe it was like nested down here. So all 5 of these are really interesting designs. I will say that none of them is like the best. I think you do have to have like some judgment calls and look through them. There's certain scenarios where I think maybe having these buttons just be directly there would be more intuitive to a user. I do like this course timeline thing. If I wanted to add in chapters or segments into a video, that's also something I could include in the design. Overall, I mean, I think this is a really cool tool to get some good ideas about like how you can design your application. You can edit stuff too. So if you wanted to click on any of this stuff and tweak it, the editing is actually like changing CSS stuff. I was hoping that it would be like an agent panel that pops up to edit that stuff. You can also draw. I wonder if you can draw and then like, what does send do? Okay, it just sends it to your context. So you can draw over something and you can tell it to change or modify something, which is pretty interesting. Let me stop that though. I don't want it to do it. And then of course you can leave some comments on different parts. So if I want to leave a comment over here, what is up? I could send that to Claude. I can just go ahead and click comments, and I'm guessing now if other people are like co-working on this, you could leave comments on various things. So overall, this is pretty cool. I mean, like as a designer, I can't speak from that perspective, but as a web developer, having access to a tool like this that helps you quickly get a prototype out there could have helped me build out my course platform a lot faster than what I did. So this is another side project I've been kind of playing around with, and I'm going to take a screenshot of this because I already have a good starting point, but I want to see how much better it could potentially design this application. So I'm going to give it some context. This is an application that's used for building out fully autonomous AI agent systems that ideate and build out an application. It thinks about all the features, it kicks off agents, it has a memory system, and I want you to design a really interactive, nice looking dashboard for this. Use the reference image provided as what I currently have, but I want to see how much better you can design this. Now, I will say there's probably a certain prompting technique you'd have to use to interact with this application. This is the first time trying it, so I really don't know what are the tips and tricks of becoming, a master at prompting Claude Design to have it give better outputs. But we're going to try this and see how well it can do by taking my existing design and converting it to its own better design. So it's going to ask us some questions again, so we're going to go through these. What should the main view emphasize? I do think the feature graph is the most important. How should the agents be represented? Cards with live statuses, logs, and current task. Node on the graph that actively work on the features. I don't know, maybe I'll pick this one and see how it kind of does. Again, we'll try a different design from what I'm doing. What type of agents exist in the system? We have ideator, we have a reviewer, there's an implementer. How should the memory system surface? I'll just say like a searchable log is probably fine. Actually I'm gonna say decide for me. I don't really know. Decide for me. How does ideation work in the UI? Agent proposes ideas as cards. You approve and reject. Yeah, okay, we did that one. Which interaction matters the most? Pick any. Kicking off a new agent run. Where should I push the hardest on WoW? I don't know, surprised me as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and click continue, and we'll see how well it can design out this dashboard page. So this is a design. Basically, it's a much better looking UI than this. Like this looks terrible. This looks actually nice and polished. So yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that I probably won't have, like this agent swarm thing on the left. Like why? I don't know if we even need this, honestly. I guess it's a quick way to see what agent is doing what. On the right, we have this ideation queue, so you can actually approve or promote things if you want that manual in the human in the loop process, accepting the ideas that the agent is figuring out as it's building out your application. Memory down here, not sure how useful that is to show. Has a nice cost per hour because Claude Code is going to burn through all your tokens. So overall, I mean, this looks pretty good. I like the look and the feel and the spacing and the gap. It's much better design than I did. Now, my question is, how do I actually like drop all 3 of these files in my project and let Claude Code basically implement it? I might have to like download these individually or something. Oh, here it is at the top. Click on share and say download project as zip. So I went ahead and dropped those 3 files into my project, and now I should be able to go over to my cursor instance. I'm going to see if I can just apply those using Opus. So let's go to Opus. I'm going to tag references. Analyze the design of the dashboard inside of this HTML file in all the styles. And I want you to try to find a way to apply all this to my existing code base so that my application style matches as close as possible the dashboard that's provided in the files. Try to figure out where my application currently has features that we can translate to the design given to us. For example, we have the event bus feature in our application, but you'll see that at the bottom there's an activity log on the bottom, which is in the design that we could probably repurpose to use. Also on the left, it has all the active running agents. We have that in our app, but I just need to pull that out and have it be on a left aligned panel. And then also go through and try to figure out anything else that we could pull out and refactor. So at this point, I'm gonna do a plan mode and let this run. All right, looks like the plan is ready. It did ask me 3 clarifying questions. I just went ahead and clicked whatever I thought was useful, and I'm gonna go ahead and just build this out. We'll come back and check when it's done. Now, while this is running, there's one more thing I want to try out with this design thing. As you guys know, I have this game I've been trying to work on. I'm gonna go to my game, and I'm actually just gonna take a screenshot of the HUD. And I wanna see if this can design it better. Can you design me a heads-up display for a zombie survival game that I'm working on? All right, what is the game called? Survive the Night. Overall vibe of the HUD, I'm gonna say post-apocalyptic. We could also do gritty military tactical, but I think the post-apocalyptic is cool. Visual style of the HUD, patched pixel art world, probably fine. Which player stats should the HUD track? Health, armor, stamina. We don't have hunger or thirst. Oh, radiation would be cool. Bleeding, sanity, infection, contamination, stamina. Yeah, let's just do all those. I don't need armor. Radiation and bleeding I don't have in the game, but it might be interesting to add those in. Hotbar inventory slots. I'll do 5. I want to keep it 5. Minimap. I'll do circular. I want to keep that. What gameplay scene should be behind? Use my screenshot as the background. Okay. Yeah, let's just let this cook. I'll come back. It might take a while. All right, so this is the actual Claude design applied to my working code. And notice that it basically looks exactly like the design. And this is actually hooked into real data. So you'll notice over here we have all of my agents over here. We have one that's running for ideation. And we have one that's running the reviewer right now. And you can see here, this is a reviewer. It's running this. If I click on this, we should see the stuff actually running. This is pretty crazy. Claude design is actually really good. It just took my awfully looking prototype and made it something that looks production ready, in my opinion. There are some things we have to tweak about it, like these side icons. You click them, they don't work. But overall, I mean, like the dashboard's actually working. It's hooked into my data and stuff is just kind of moving along. So yeah, I'm impressed. Now let's also move back to the game. So we have the HUD for the game. It's like sticky notes for the objectives. We got the mini map, which is pretty cool, which actually matches like the color scheme of the game. Here's the actual HUD. It tells you what level you are, the items that you have, your sprint. I think this is your health. Now I will say it's kind of weird because like it actually kept the image on the background I told it to, and the HUD in the background's kind of overlapping. But yeah, this is actually insane. This looks really great. We have a sticky note down here, blood, wind, rads, fever, cuts. Not sure how much that's going to be useful, but I do think that the sticky note design actually meets the theme of like a post-apocalyptic world. Got a little pistol magazine over here, which might be useful. Right now, like we have the information right here, but if you had it over here on the right, that actually might be a better design, honestly. This has health and stamina as little radial icons, which is good. And then also we have a reserve over there. What else has changed about this design? Looks like nothing else is too much different. Okay, we have this design, which is more of like a Fallout 3, you know, like the green panels. Not sure I like it. It doesn't really match my style that I'm going for. I do like the sticky note stuff. So I might actually at some point refactor the game to do more of this. In the tweaks, you have the blood pulse. So I can actually add this for when you're like low HP, which would be really cool. I'm not sure what this blood thing does. It doesn't seem like it does anything. Here's another interesting design that it did. It did like a heartbeat for the health. I'm guessing the heartbeat goes faster if you're like low health, which would be really cool. Interesting idea. But overall, I mean, like you can see how this is really good for ideating. Like this gave me a lot of ideas for my game. I can come back through and I can have it actually add in these sticky notes to my game. Like this might be the best approach, either that one or kind of like this one as well. But yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Go check it out. Claude design. I'm definitely going to start using this in all of my side projects because it took my awful looking prototype and made it look like this with one prompt. And yeah, I'm pretty blown away. All right, have a good day and happy prompting.